Hey everybody, Pastor JJ here. Happy Reformation Day. I know today is Halloween and a lot of you are probably getting ready to put on your costumes and go out and get candy from all your neighbors, but today is also a holiday called Reformation Day. History nerds and church nerds will know that, but the rest of you probably have never even heard of that before. I swear I thought I made one of these videos before, like in previous years, but I couldn't find it, so I'm making it again just in case. But basically, today is the day that we celebrate the anniversary of the time when a man named Martin Luther went to the church, went outside the church, and he nailed up what was called the 95 Theses. He was a part of the Catholic Church, and he saw that the Catholic Church was doing stuff that it shouldn't be doing, so he wrote up a list of changes that he wanted to make in the church, because he didn't want to start a new church, he didn't want to start a new religion, he wanted to fix the church that he grew up in, the church he loved. He wanted to work on it so it could be more faithful to what Scripture was teaching. And so he wrote up the 95 Theses and nailed it to the front door of the church. And the history, I mean, there's a lot more that happened, but people kind of credit that as like the big moment that kicked off what is now known as the Reformation, where the Catholic Church split into two different churches, the Catholics and the Protestants, the protesters, right? Now again, I know I'm broad strokes, but just work with me here, right? And so ever since then, we have celebrated Reformation Day, where we just are celebrating and honoring this man who stood up to the corruption that he saw. And it led to another reformer, a Dutch reformer, who came up with this phrase, Semper Reformanda. And I wanted to talk about that for just a second. Semper Reformanda is Latin, and it means always be reforming. Always be reforming, semper reformanda, and it comes with this idea, and I think a lot of people hear that and they think, oh, I should always be changing. I'm always growing, I always need to be changing, but that's not actually what it means. Semper reformanda is the idea that human hearts drift, right? Like we may start out doing what we're supposed to do, but we drift away from that, and we always need to be coming back to the right thing, keep coming back to what we're supposed to be doing. So Semper Reformanda means always be reforming back to what is good, because we've drifted away. It's not about constantly changing your mind or updating things to fit with the latest trend. No. It's about always come back to what is good. I think a sort of a silly example would be diet and exercise. Like we know what we're supposed to do to be healthy, right? Eat the right foods and exercise and all that, but as time goes on, we drift away from those practices, right? And so we need to always be returning to what is good, what is true, what is beautiful, right? As the Scripture tells us. And so I just wanted to say Happy Reformation Day, and just to give you that advice, always be reforming, always be returning to what is good in your life. It's an example that Martin Luther set for us. I'm very grateful for his ministry. He made some major mistakes. I don't want to praise the man, but he stood up to the Catholic Church and the corruption in the institution, and I think that that's worth celebrating. We need to stand up when churches get it wrong and they are oppressive and doing the wrong things, and so it's good to stand up to the church, but it's also good for each of our personal lives to always be reforming our lives back to what is good. As we drift away from the right practices, we come back to what is good. You guys have a great Halloween and a happy Reformation Day. Bye.